So Andreas, there's always a formula for success in commercial real estate. The four things that I always tell every client to look out for. One is cash flow, the other one is scale, location, and time. Time for the investment to grow. What is cash flow? How would you explain that in layman's terms?
Cash flow is how much money you have coming in on an ongoing basis. Not how much money you make, but how much money is coming in every month, your rent roll, right? So if you're buying a property, how much money is the current owner collecting in rents? How much are they supposed to be collecting? Is there a gap? Is there a difference how much they're collecting versus not that they have to chase? Maybe therein lies the opportunity. But cash flow is very important, and you have to make sure you have enough to mitigate your expenses and your risk,
And your
that you're not going to be
exposure,
able to
correct.
afford it. Correct.
Correct. The other thing is scale, economies of scale, meaning the more doors, as we call it in the real estate space, the better, right? If you have a two-family or a two-door asset as opposed to a 20, in the event that you lose one of your tenants for an extended period of time, you're not going to feel that loss on a monthly or even multi-month basis. What are some other things that you would recommend to a client, say, coming to my department, with respect to financing and just macro level questions to ask?
Sure. So, number one thing is making sure you know all of your financing options. A lot of new business owners maybe stepped into a business that their parents built, and so now they're taking it over, and they don't even know what options are available. This is new to them, but there are many, and many times we have clients. I'll have a restaurant client who calls, and they think it's the end of the road, but in fact, there's financing options that they've never even heard of. That happens in bad times and good times. So being able to work with the right attorney, and like our firm that represents a number of different banks, explore all your options, know what products are out there, what makes the most sense for you in your scenario.
And to your point, again, it's not like the old days where you had to go to the loan shark in order to get a loan for the business owner. There's plenty of programs with many of our institutional lenders that are geared just for this type of client. There's other things that many real estate attorneys don't know about, such as a blanket mortgage that would cover one mortgage, one closing that would cover multi properties, which inherently is going to mitigate your closing and recording charges. So it goes back to cash flow, as you said. It goes back to what is your bottom line net income, either at a closing or on a monthly basis. And it's important that as a developer or someone who's going to own multiple commercial real estate properties, that you look at all these things from different types of angles.
Or does, right? So, one common example, and we both know which recent case we're talking about, where we did this umbrella mortgage. The common thing that we hear is, how come my broker never told me about that one, right? It's because they would make 5 commissions instead of 1. It's because there would be fees for 5 transactions if you refinanced 5 buildings versus 1, right? So, this is natural to us because we always try to do the right thing for our clients. And so that's the point, is trust your attorney, go to the right people, and only then will you know all of the options, right? It almost sounds too good to be true sometimes, because sadly enough, there's too many people who won't tell you about that because it doesn't align with their financial interest. For us, it's a long-term thing, and it's such a great feeling when we're able to do it. And the other point is, you just mentioned about buying it, but again, there's a lot of people who came here with nothing and built up a mini fortune, right, and have 4 or 5 commercial real estate properties, all held in their individual name. Parent dies, son inherits it, maybe the son, the mother, or sister, and it just continues in their individual name, except that they own 3 restaurants, and there's personal liability there. And so now they come to us with 5 commercial properties worth, 10 million, let's call it, and they're collecting rent, so there's cash flow, all of which is now attachable in a wage and hour case in one of the 3 restaurants.
And that's an entirely different conversation, but it does play into the formula for success. And it's your corporate governance, your spiderwebbing, your siloing of assets, and kind of dispersing liability across various fields as opposed to just one, which could really hurt you in a wage and hour type lawsuit. Plenty of different angles to look at, and it's important that you reach out and speak to your attorney to get all of the requisite facts so you can make the right decisions.